There are things you take for granted with normal, stable governance, like they're not going to try to force feed you raw milk. Yes, we now have to worry about the proliferation of raw milk and thereby the proliferation of the H5N1 virus, which can be found in raw milk. Let me explain. As the New York Post reports, a bird flu virus detected in raw milk from a dairy farm based in Fresno, California. As Shannon Watt says, RFK Jr., I will deregulate raw milk because freedom. Raw milk? It gets worse, Shannon. You know that farm that's mentioned in that New York Post article? Guess what? That's the preferred farm of RFK Jr. where he gets his raw milk. But you know what, Shannon? It gets even worse than that. The owner of that farm, who, by the way, denies that his milk has H5N1 strands, and he denies it, but the owner of that farm, he's the individual who RFK Jr., who Donald Trump picked to lead Health and Human Services. RFK Jr. wants that dude, wants that guy to create American policy on raw milk. We need a policy on the benefits of raw milk, apparently, which we know can be very, very dangerous. But it's not what Marjorie Taylor Greene says, folks, because Marjorie Taylor Greene says raw milk does a body good. Make America healthy again. I mean, why do these people have literally the worst takes imaginable? And that's right. The people who are saying, Maha, make America healthy again. Oh, is that RFK Jr. right there with some Zyn, with like this like nicotine stuff that you put in your, I don't even know what it is, but dangerous nicotine stuff called Zyn, Z-Y-N. Oh, is that RFK Jr. right there eating Big Macs at McDonald's? Oh, I guess they just go on and just do whatever the hell they want to do. It should be noted that RFK Jr. is someone responsible for the spread of measles in Samoa. Go and look up the 2019 Samoa measles outbreak, because they were getting their advice as well from RFK Jr. not to take vaccines that the neighboring islands who were vaccinated against measles took. And then there was an outbreak of measles in Samoa in 2019. Well, let me just tell everybody what we're learning about H5N1, which in addition to making egg prices high because avian flu could reduce the supply of eggs, But in addition to making the prices go high, because I know that was everybody's fixation, right? Egg prices, even though a lot of it had to do with the fact that there was price gouging. But a new Science magazine article explains that, and this was written by Eric Toole, a single mutation can increase the virus's binding to human receptors, highlighting the need for rigorous surveillance. So this paper that's just out in Science basically saying we are one mutation away from human-to-human transmission of H5N1 bird flu. And now what are we talking about? We're talking about RFK Jr. Supporting a guy to run our whole policy. I'm RFK Jr., by the way, who's a vaccine denier, but someone to run raw milk policy who believes that there's no issues at all in raw milk at all. You can't make this stuff up. As Dr. Alistair McAlpine says, you can't make this stuff up. RFK Jr.'s favorite brand of raw milk has been suspended in California after they found bird flu in it. Will the stupidity never end? Here's the article from the Daily Beast. Sale of RFK Jr.'s beloved raw milk suspended at farm in home state after bird flu detected. Like, how are we even in a timeline where that is a headline? The raw milk brand favored by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is facing a recall in California over safety concerns, just as the CEO of that company, the raw milk company, is now poised to join the Trump administration at the behest of RFK Jr. Head of the celebrity-friendly raw milk brand says its recall is political. He may soon have an FDA role. Let me just show you a quick video of this guy so you can see him for yourself right here. Here's a glimpse into RFK Jr.'s plans as HHS secretary to make America healthy again. He contacted Mark McAfee, CEO of a raw milk farm quarantined by health officials after its raw milk tested positive for bird flu from infected cows, to be part of the FDA and the Trump administration. Here, play this clip.
Operations at this farm, from herds to bottled products, are now under quarantine.
The CEO of the company is challenging those findings and sharing his side of the story.
This is a natural process. This is not something that's extraordinary, something I didn't do wrong.
And there's no illnesses. And we believe there's not even a potential for an illness because of the physiology and science behind what happens to flu bugs in raw milk.
Mark McAfee has appeared on just about every local TV station in the Fresno area to say he disputes those findings and that his milk is safe to drink.
Now, McAfee may play a role in national policy. He says RFK Jr., who's on track to run the FDA in the Trump administration, asked him to apply to be an advisor on raw milk policy and standards development.
The raw milk CEO, currently fighting claims about bird flu contamination, has reportedly been contacted by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be part of the FDA, which is part of the Department of Health, at a time when that same department may be facing down an increasing threat from bird flu.
And by the way, when you kind of go down the rabbit hole of like raw milk becoming a trendy thing, despite it being very dangerous, how did this happen? And Politico did a good job going and showing the origins really of this. In 2008, there was this guy, Jason Schultz, who was running to be in the Iowa House of Representatives. He's a local Iowa farmer, or a local farmer in Iowa had showed him a cease and desist letter he received from the Iowa Department of Agriculture for selling milk straight from cows to his friends and neighbors without pasteurizing it, heating it to kill bacteria first. And then this guy Schultz, even though he lost the election at first, did not give up, made this his like key cause, started getting allies in it. And then this became like this major right-wing issue about the government's taking away our raw milk. How dare they take away our raw milk? You know, and there's a lot of dangers there to drinking raw milk, but then that became the big issue of Marjorie Taylor Greene and all of these MAGAs, all the way up to RFK Jr. RFK Jr. supports the raw milk company. The raw milk company has got this quarantine that we were just referring to for potential bird flu being found in their raw milk. And that's the short of it and the timeline that we are living in. Hard to believe that this is even a thing. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is issuing, this is right now under Biden, the U.S. Department of Agriculture is issuing a federal order requiring raw, unpasteurized milk samples nationwide to be collected and tested, which, what do you think the raw milk guy is going to do with RFK Jr.? And this isn't like funny stuff. Like, this is some basic competent governance type of stuff that now people are, this is going to impact lives. And then what are the Republicans going to do? They're going to blame Democrats. They're going to point the finger. They're going to, what are they, they're going to blame. The USDA says it will start testing milk for H5N1 bird flu virus nationwide. This is serious stuff, folks, that we need to take away, that we need to take very, very, very seriously. And it's just a ramification of there's so much of this stuff. I just want to make sure we're focused as well on this. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.